Hey, real quick, survey for you. We posted this video at the exact same time that we posted the Elgato face cam that also came out today. How many of you clicked that one first and then came to this one for you? Leave a comment down below. I want to know. I bet most of you did. It's flashier. I get it. But if we look at the numerous things that Elgato released today, my bet is the thing that's going to end up sitting on most streamers' desks is not the webcam. It's this. Elgato has figured out how to take the power and the variety of XLR mics and combine it with the simplicity and the control of their Wave USB mic. Let's get into it. Hey, raise your hand if you use the same password for most of your internet accounts. What's the matter with you? Don't raise your hand. Don't give yourself away like that. And most importantly, stop it. Stop doing that, because it's 2021. Get a password manager. Did you know there are roughly 7 million passwords hacked every single year? No, wait, that's a lie. Every single day. According to a 2018 study, 2.5 billion passwords were hacked that year alone. So do yourself and your data a favor and sign up for NordPass. NordPass stores all your passwords in one place and locks in a secure vault that you can easily access with a master password. That way you can use crazy secure passwords on your online accounts without the trouble of remembering what they are, or like writing them on sticky notes and putting them on your computer. Don't do that either. NordPass can even generate those impossible to guess passwords for you and store them automatically, and it lets you know if it discovers a breach of any of your online info or even your credit card information. Also, it's 50% off right now, plus a free month when you sign up. So, you know, go do that. Go to nordpass.com/alphagaming, which I put in the description for you, or use code alphagaming at checkout, which, by the way, when you click the link in the description, it does actually support the channel. So thank you for those of you who clicked on it. Back to the regular video. One of the biggest complaints I see about the Elgato Wave isn't that it's not good enough, because it's awesome. In fact, it's so good that people want to use the Elgato WaveLink software with whatever mic they choose, because that's really what makes the Wave so good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good mic. It's just nothing special. But multi-track audio and submixes packed into really easy to use software, that's huge. And by the way, if you're looking for like a thorough video on how to control all those things, we did a video on this mic, I think a little bit over a year ago now, and check that out. I'll link to it down below. Can I just say that Elgato released this mic over a year ago now with that software, and still nobody has come out with a competing one? Like, what's that about? Seriously, until now, the only way to get those mic features are to go with an XLR mic and combine it with like a full-fledged audio interface. Something like the Go XLR or the new AverMedia Nexus, or like a traditional studio mixer. The problem with those is they're either really expensive or they're just a pain to use. Those have been your two options. Nothing else. Until this video. Here we have the Wave XLR. It is an interface that you plug your XLR microphone into, and it quite literally turns your XLR mic into a Wave 3. Like, for real, the dial on the front is exactly the same. You press the dial to switch between the same three controls. It feeds into the WaveLink software the exact same way as the Wave mic did. They both have capacitive mute buttons on top. It's even the exact same price as the Wave 3. Just now you're getting higher end audio because you can choose whatever XLR microphone your little heart desires, but also you get that separation between the microphone and the electronics inside the interface. But before you run out and buy it, let's consider 3 things. What was that? Whatever. 3 things. How does it sound? How strong is it? Meaning, can it power, the obvious question, can it power an SM7B? And 3, what is it missing? Because, spoiler, there is something missing. Test number 1, how does it sound? I performed a test with this thing today up against an industry standard audio interface called the Apogee Quartet, a $1,400 audio interface. I plugged an SM7B into both of them and recorded. Let's take a blind test. Can you tell which one is which? This is a test of the SM7B going into the first audio device. This is the test of the SM7B going into the second device. I'll give you another listen. Can you tell which one is which? They're a tiny bit different, but I bet you're having a hard time telling the difference. Test 1, 2, 1, 2. If you can tell which one is which, leave it in the comments. This might answer your question. Device number 1 is the Apogee Quartet. Have you listened to the new StreamBeats drop we did in collaboration with 100 Thieves? It's pretty dang good. This device is the Elgato Wave XLR, which I've used to listen to the new Hype Tracks drop. Links down below. If you listen to this with studio headphones like I did, you might be able to hear a little bit more clarity in the low and high ends. It's very subtle, but I did want to point it out. And realistically, by the time your voice gets compressed through your live streaming platform and game sounds and music sounds are added on top of it, and then your audience is watching it on their phone speakers or their laptop speakers, this thing sounds good, is what I'm trying to say. Well, what about power? Because I've been very critical of devices like the AverMedia Nexus that only provides 42 decibels of gain when microphones like this hog, the SM7B, require 60. Fortunately, the Wave XLR provides 75 dB of gain, 52 of those being from the hardware preamp, while the other 23 dB being software gain. Just as an example, the Go XLR also has 75 dB of gain, with 50 dB of that being from the preamp, and we've seen a million times, Go XLR has no problem powering the SM7B. In fact, right now, I've only got the gain set to 47 dB on this thing, and it's running it just fine. We could crank this thing, and it could hear me from all the way back here as I talk really quietly. I'm very far away from the mic. I think I actually only went up to like 67 dB there. You're getting my point, right? This thing has plenty of power for any mic that you want to choose. But what's it missing? Like, let's say you're debating going between a Wave XLR or a Go XLR. What functionality are you gaining and losing with each one? If you were to ask me, I would say the three main advantages of the Wave XLR would be price, submixes, and form factor. And by form factor, I mean like how small it is, just how well this is gonna fit on your desk versus that beefy Go XLR. And I guess also we could say like the customizable faceplate is kind of dope. If you're into that kind of thing, check out our designs that we're getting on ours. I think that's a beautiful audio interface. But the three main advantages that the Go XLR still has over this little guy are: one, hardware faders. Let's face it, faders are always going to be better than buttons when controlling audio. Two is the I/O combined with the routing table, making it an incredible device for two PC setups. It's going to be a little bit more complicated on this thing. And probably the biggest thing it's missing are VSTs. Things like noise gate, EQ, and compression built right into the software. Elgato, why is this not a thing? You know what? Hold that thought. I would like to be the very first YouTuber to announce that Elgato is working on VSTs. This is a real DM, by the way. Elgato is actually working on them, and they gave me permission to share it with you guys. So fingers crossed, soon. They didn't tell me how long it would take, so don't hold your breath, but at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. In the meantime, if you're looking for a good way to add good EQ and compression to your microphone for free inside of OBS, we did a whole video on that. I'll link to that down below. I'm gonna be honest, I'm very excited about this. I think it's a great device that makes it easier and cheaper for streamers to get into professional audio. You love to see it. By the time you're done watching this, I will be live on my personal channel, youtube.com/HarrisHeller. Make sure you subscribe, link down below. I'm gonna be using this for my audio and the Elgato face cam for my camera just to see what a fully Elgato'd stream. Now that we actually can do that, what does a fully Elgato'd stream look like and sound like? So if you wanna see it in action, feel free to pop over there right now, or if you have any questions, maybe you think I missed something, go ahead and ask me in chat. I'll be hanging out with you guys the whole time. And as always, happy streaming.